What up, guys? It's Ninja Eskimo coming back to you for round 2 in Global War 1936. So to start us off, this turn we're dealing with $19 instead of that lower amount last turn. We are going to be spending 17 on some artillery, some marines, supplies, and an influence roll for Da Dao, which does not script onto that, but should cost 17 total. In addition, if we go over to roll for some technology, we're going to go after improved construction again, and this time because we have a second major factory, we're going to roll for some large ship construction as well. See if we get these. That is a 6, and it fails, but a 9 for large ship construction does move us along the route. And this one, I think, is slightly more important for us, and maybe I should have started it in turn 1, simply because the United States and Japan are competing over the big blue fleet, or Kido Butai. So we've got to make sure that we get the victory point on this as Japan instead of the United States. But our buys and our techs completed, we're going to be moving on to any combats. No, we don't have any because we're not going to declare war against China this early in the game. We are going to be moving some non-combat moves over. There seems to be a continuous movement of Soviet troops this direction, and while I'm not afraid that we're going to lose a war, I am very curious as to what the commies are doing. They are continuing to build up some fleet here and sending over ship by ship every turn that they're available. They are approaching with some more surface ships here, as well as a destroyer, I think, that maybe was left behind for some purpose over here, or maybe it was could have been put onto the board as turn 1. We will see. To deal with this influx of Soviet troops, though, we're going to be moving some troops over. We're going to rail with 1 infantry here. We're going to move with some cavalry there. This is one of the militias that we are going to be upgrading on this turn. So we're just going to delete him here and copy in an extra dude. Semi-early. Only semi-early. This infantry will also be here. He is our commander-in-chief, Mr. Mountain Boy. This militia here is the other infantry that we are going to be upgrading, so for sake of ease here, we're just going to move him there. Let's see. Any other moves to make? This is a very simple round, I think, of what may or may not occur. Let's see if we go here. We might be able to stall some of these. You know what? We're going to move him here. And him there. That works. We might be able to forestall some of the stuff that we don't want to see. Let's go with a light cruiser. And what I mean, stuff that we don't want to see is the possibility of the Soviets sending aid via a port here in Beijing to the communists is not nothing. It depends on whether or not the KMT attack and destroy the communist forces here in Qinghai, or if they're going to go all the way to Xinjiang and succeed in getting a railroad border with the USSR, which means that they get 2 per turn and are very easily reinforced with some lend-lease from the USSR, and that is something we would prefer not seeing. So we're hoping that the KMT do things over here. I think the Soviet people would prefer that Xinjiang goes communist, although if the CCP grabs Beijing via influence role next time, it could be sad because of the aforementioned lend-lease from them there, allowing the US to send the KMT some lend-lease, and we just don't want that happening, even if the US is not yet at its 10 IPP limit on being able to send that. We'd prefer they don't get there by having to declare war against them. They just get to do that if the commies receive anything from the Soviets. And that is a bad thing. We don't want to see that. So we're trying to put the submarines here to just negate any and all, or not negate, but interdict any and all lend-lease that is sent. Yes, we realize that the Soviets will increase if that happens, or the Americans could increase if that happens, but I'd rather that than they get an airplane or some anti-aircraft artillery. These I view as much worse outcomes than, oh, we simply did a thing and they got hit and they didn't like that. Let's send him up here. Now, the reason I'm trying to spread out some of these things here, we're just going to move, do a non-combat move, pick him up with the destroyer, and drop him off there to help reinforce. The reason I'm moving some ships around is solely for the effect of it's not barricading, but it's blockading. Blockading any of these major facilities in China should I decide to declare war, and that could be fun and very happy at a time, but we don't want that to be now. We want that to be on our timing. But going along with the idea of our timing, we're just going to put some of these transports here for now because we don't need them anywhere else. I'm sure everyone else has noticed, but these militia here are not actually able to be moved to the home country. They just can't move at all unless they start and end in home country. So my previous turn where I was just calling everybody back to the homeland was apparently not allowed, and I do apologize for that. There's been some housekeeping in the intermittent time, and we're just moving forward with what we got. I think if I just rearrange some of these things, we should be a-okay. All set and ready to go. I think we're going to just non-combat move that boy there, just in case we want to help support in the South Atlantic or the Mediterranean, or even just in the Indian Ocean. We can still do some raiding there. If and when the time comes to declare war against the Commonwealth. Not saying that that's going to happen anytime soon. But that is the non-combat movement. There's no strategic rail. I guess there was one strategic rail, but there's no strategic naval movement that we've got to do this time around, because as I said, those militia have to start and end in home country. But if we are now, we did already upgrade our units a little early just to make things easier on myself. We've got some Marines popping up and an artillery in Manchuria here at the factory. So these Marines are going to stick here in Kyushu. But this .ow influence we can roll, and this time there's only one target. We're hoping for Bei Ping and Hopei. We're gonna go for that. I don't know the name of that warlord, but generally I try going for him first anyhow. We failed on the .ow influence. We only hit it on a 1 or a 2. That is some sadness, but we can try for next time. Something I forgot in the video last time was the Siam recruitment, and there was some housekeeping done. They did not hit on that. This time we're going to try to see if we can get some recruitment. No. Recruitment fail. So, that is Japan's turn. I'm Ninja Eskimo. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.